This is an RP Blonde movie review.
RP Blonde, back for more. This time, it's all about a Wonder Woman. Well, I'm gonna start off by saying, woman, where have you been? I've been waiting so long for you. Anybody could take this any way possible, whether it's about a girl I'm interested in, or about Wonder Woman finally coming to the screen. I heard that last year marks 75 years of Wonder Woman. This character is so iconic it should have been made into a film much earlier. I think they waited too long. Speaking of too long, this movie is ridiculously too long. There's too much time of the character Steve Rogers showing Wonder Woman or Diana, showing her around England and having her meet different people. There's too much time spent there. The question about where she's been also applies to our heroine in the movie. She doesn't show up in costume and in any kind of superhero action until an hour and 15 minutes into the film. This movie is about 2 hours and 20 minutes long. That sequence I just mentioned only goes for about 6 minutes. Then we get her only one more time in action for about 20 or so minutes at the end of the film. So disappointing. And what's with the shield and sword? Wonder Woman doesn't, from my knowledge, Wonder Woman does not use either. I feel this is not an accurate origin story at all. Looks more like they're ripping off Captain America. Most of this movie feels more like a war drama than a superhero film. What are these filmmakers doing? Seems like they're ruining this woman. She's now tarnished. I'm still very much upset after a couple weeks after seeing the movie. She comes off to Steve in the I think I said Steve Rogers before. I meant Steve Trevor. She comes off to Steve Trevor as delusional in the film. So would be anybody else that comes in contact with her, because she keeps on about the god of Ares. Now, god of Ares is part of Greek mythology, and as far as my knowledge, Greek mythology does not or is not part of the Wonder Woman story. Now, Zeus and assorted characters. I must say that I've went on and done some fact checking since seeing the film, and I must have to come back and say I apologize, because during my time looking up the origin story in that first issue back in 1941, Greek mythology is part of it. But still, this movie does have problems. I will have to say that this is a live action movie, because there was a movie made about 7 years ago, around 2008, 2009. It was an animated film from DC Comics. And this movie here in 2017 only deals with half the origin story. During my fact checking, there are many differences. One of the biggest differences is that Steve and Diana do not go to England in the origin story. They go to America, and I believe they go to Washington, D.C. And there's more differences as well. Still, with things that are a little more clarified after doing some fact checking, this movie is a complete mess. And as I've said about the costume and the superhero action, it's very minimal. I'm standing by my word that they really did not portray the character very well at all here. My rating for this movie, I'm going to give it 1 star for the 2 leads, because they do work well together. But unfortunately, I really need to give this a Golden Blonde a golden dead blonde in the sand with a suntan and a grin. Because this movie really needs to be redone. Maybe they'll make a better origin story down the road, maybe about 10 years from now. But otherwise, this is just a nightmare. RP Blonde out. See you next time.